Hi, my name is Ray from the Internet Glass Network. I got a surprise today. It'll be the first time in the first video of how to remove the oak glass from your frame and to put a new one in. The only difference is this is going to be done right. I've seen way too many videos of kids cutting their hands and stuff and taking the frames off of housings and doing whatever. That's the opposite of what you really have to do and what you should do. So my company's been in existence since 1991. We are on our 25th anniversary, so I do kind of have the experience. This mirror here is cracked, but the funny thing is that it's been replaced before. So I am up against a situation where I don't know what adhesive he used or what the situation is. All American mirrors and all mirrors for that basically are glued in, and in which I'm looking at here, this thing has probably been super glued. So the following tools is what you need. You need anything to remove a car mirror, which nobody has been showing on the internet, okay, is a secret, and it's incredible that nobody's been doing it. It's called heat. Heat is the thing that breaks down adhesive. If you ever have a bolt on a car that's rusted, and you've tried the WD-40 and the liquid wrench and you can't get it off, what do? Heat. Okay, expansion contraction always works, and especially breaking down of adhesive. The second thing you would need is, and I know a lot of you don't have this item, but it's what they call an auto glass scraper. We do sell these online. They're a nice tool even to use after you're done with it, because it's a carbide steel in which you can sharpen using a stone. But they're great little tools. I do sell them on the net, and they're a great tool to get off the mirror for the car. If you don't have this, you can use a putty knife, because you'll notice how easy this mirror comes out once I heat it up. Okay, the next thing you need is painter's tape and basically silicone in which to glue it back in which we also sell online. So what we're going to do is also, you need a garbage can. Now, we put the garbage can underneath, and now we're going to apply heat throughout the mirror. Now, you don't want to get too crazy with it, and you don't have to worry about it cracking. Actually, that's a good thing when it starts to crack on you. Now, I've seen too many videos where people were trying to do this without heat, and they were struggling, and it's just ridiculous that, but anyhow, we're not showing it the correct way. Now, once you apply some heat to it, which is going to be probably several applications, you want it to absorb for a little while. Now, this glass is hot. I should wear gloves, but I'm not going to cut myself. But basically, you get a corner, get underneath it, and you're going to hear and notice that this glass is now pulling out. Now, you don't want to ruin the frame, so you just go nice and slow. There's no hurry in this job. So I don't want to ruin the frame, because it's basically what holds the glass in, and I want that frame to work. So again, I'm going to apply heat. And if you don't have a propane torch, okay, the next thing you can use is basically your wife or your daughter's hairdryer. They could go up to 1800 watts, and they get pretty darn hot. So you can heat it up with a hairdryer. Now, if you notice, I'm not touching it yet, because the more I let the heat absorb into the frame, the more it's going to loosen up the adhesive in which was used previous. So we go back to our project. The glass is a little warm, but I got my bucket. You never want to take the frame off the motor or the housing. And the reason is it's like having a third hand. I'm not holding a frame while I'm doing this. The housing is doing it for me. Okay, so here we go. Bye, mirror. Do you want your heating element back, Max?
If we can work it, yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm having a struggle with getting off the pad. The heating element pad is glued to this frame. Again, apply heat. Heat is your friend. Now, with that situation, you don't have to apply that much because all this is a basic film, in which it'll basically just peel right off. Now you disconnect the two leads, which are basically what the heating element uses. Now we do have the heating elements for this glass in stock, I think. I hope. I think I do. So we're basically peeling off the old heating element. There's the grids, okay? Done a little bit of inventory, in which I do have a heating element. We do have the OEM heating element. Okay, this is basically, he's got. Now I just pulled off the strip of the. If you notice, I pulled the strip off. Now, the way these are glued is they're glued behind the mirror. Okay, so the back of the mirror would be here, and there we go. He's got a heating element. We do sell the heating elements. Go to the additional options on the website. You'll see the heating element along with the silicone. Okay, so now basically we got the two males. Now what I strongly suggest is doing the first thing, because we're basically ready to install. Now, I also sell the silicone online. Okay, basically it's pure non-latex-based silicone. It's very high acidic. It will glue into anything. It'll glue and bond the plastic glass, and that's really what we want. To glue into plastic and glass. Now, the way these heating elements are activated is when he, in the morning, wakes up, he turns on his defogger or he turns on his back glass, is when the heating elements turn on. Okay, so we basically take the silicone and we break the tip. Alright, so what you basically do is you break the tip, use a razor blade, and now you've broken the tip on the silicone. And what I suggest we do prior to installation of this glass is you take the silicone. Now, if you can notice, what they did at the factory is they have these little circles, and that's basically where they glued it. So when I say to you, it doesn't really matter, it doesn't. What you want to do is place it in 4 spots in a mirror. And what I suggest is always keep it about an inch and a half from the frame lip, because once you do this, the glue will not ooze out and you'll have a mess. If it ever does ooze out on you, and say it comes out where the frame is, the frame lip, do not touch it. For the reason is silicone is very high acidic and you'll never get it off the mirror. It'll be a mess. And then one in the middle. As you see, we're not using a lot. They're probably 1/2 inch by 3/8 of an inch out. Now, what I suggest you do before you install it is to connect the power leads. And don't put the power leads after you glue it in, okay? The reason is that you have the mirror in, you might have to pop out the housing. Now, actually, this glass is going to fit OEM around this frame. I am now installing it. I'm pushing it in. And voila, Gaston. We have a new mirror. Now, it isn't a frame lip and it's fitting in perfectly. Like I said, OE, it's got the little heated logo, which my buddy Max here, he's a lucky man. Now he's got something that he had when the car was brand new. It's probably on the passenger side. These are first surface chromium mirrors, which means that they do absorb 40% of the light. The mirror in which this kid had was bathroom mirror. In the back of it, if you notice, there's the silicone, there's the silver So he used 1/8" bathroom mirror. He was blinded. Let me show you first surface chromium, and I'll put it up against the lens. It has 40% translucency, which means it absorbs 40% of the light. And if I put it up there, Max, can you see my face?
Yep.
See how you're looking through a mirror?
Perfect.
Now let's look at what he had.
Can't see crap.
All right, now you're gonna see for $9, $10 and stuff like that. It's gonna blind you, just like that mirror did. With this mirror absorbing 40% of light, you can see my face. How you doing, guys? It does absorb 40% of light, so you're not blinded. It's a US made first surface chromium. Now, as Max drives away, we want to make sure that what we did in this hard work today is going to stay on his vehicle. So we take a little painter's tape, we apply it on the back end of his housing. We basically apply it to his mirror, and you do one run in the middle. We don't go crazy. You don't have to fully tape it in the back, so it's easy to come off. I mean, he is going to run into a situation while he's driving down the road. He's going to see a little bit yellow. As they call me Mellow Yellow. That's right. They call me Mellow Yellow. All right, so now the mirror will hold into place. Hopefully now you have seen how to remove a car mirror from a frame that the glass is broken and doing it properly. By using heat is your answer. It makes the job easier. Instead of, if I was to do this in 40-degree temperature without the heat, the glass would be splattering all over the place. And I would do what the kid did on his YouTube. He cut himself. Keep the frame on the motor. It is like having a second hand. Okay, this way I'm not fumbling with a plastic thing in my hand and then jabbing myself and bleeding. But thank you very much for allowing me to show you this. Thank you, Max, from Max Tax, New York, my accountant friend. And if you have any accounting services, Max is here. But yes, I'm Ray from the Internet Glass Network, and you can go to the bottom of the page and go to my URL. This happened to be a replacement on a 2002 Chevy Tahoe, which is very similar to the Suburban and all the GM trucks. They're great trucks. They last forever. So I thank you very much for watching YouTube. Go to www.auto-glass.com and or www.internetglassnetwork.com. My name is Ray Albrecht, and thanks for watching my video. You have a great day.